You say you want to heal. You say you want love, success, peace. And yet, when it gets close, you pull away. You pick a fight. You disappear. You procrastinate until the opportunity dies on its own. Then you tell yourself, see, it was never meant for me. That quiet, destructive pattern has a name, self-sabotage. And it's not random. It's protection disguised as ruin. This video is not about judging you for doing it. It's about understanding why you do. Why you talk yourself out of things you secretly crave. Why you chase what hurts and run from what could heal. Why your actions don't match your goals. Once you see the psychology behind self-sabotage, it stops being a mystery. It becomes a map back to yourself. Let's start with a hard truth. Self-sabotage is not about laziness, stupidity, or secretly hating yourself. It's about safety. Your mind is wired to choose what feels safe over what looks good on paper. And safe doesn't mean healthy. It means familiar. If chaos is familiar, calm will feel threatening. If rejection is familiar, genuine love will feel suspicious. Your nervous system trusts what it knows. Psychologically, we all carry a set of core beliefs. Quiet sentences like, I am not enough. I am too much. People always leave. If I succeed, they'll hate me. These beliefs don't just sit in your mind as pretty quotes. They live as emotional truths stored in your body. And your behavior often bends itself to protect those truths, even when they hurt you. Pain feels safer than uncertainty. Take this. If you deeply believe, I am unlovable, then when someone actually loves you, it creates a clash inside. On one side, the new experience, they care. On the other, the old belief, no one truly can. That tension is unbearable. Something has to give. And often, you unconsciously destroy the thing that doesn't fit your belief. You push them away, or you test them until they break. Then, when they finally leave, you tell yourself, I knew it. It always ends like this. The belief survives. You don't. This is called cognitive consistency. Your mind prefers a painful but familiar story over a hopeful but confusing one. It doesn't care if the story makes you suffer. It cares that the story feels stable. Self-sabotage is one way your psyche fights to keep its old story intact. There's also the comfort zone, not as a motivational cliche, but as a nervous system reality. Whatever your body has survived repeatedly becomes your normal. If you grew up with criticism, instability, or emotional distance, your system learned to navigate that. It became good at walking on eggshells. Hypervigilance became skill. Being unnoticed became strategy. You adapted to a dangerous world. So when life offers you something different, a stable job, a kind partner, a real chance, your system doesn't read it as good. It reads it as unknown. And unknown feels dangerous. Without you realizing, you start creating familiar chaos around it. You miss deadlines. You start arguments. You ghost messages. You create the storm you know how to survive, because calm feels like waiting for impact. Another layer is fear of responsibility. If you stay small, you don't have to risk more. Success doesn't just bring praise. It brings expectations, visibility, and the threat of greater loss if everything collapses. So part of you thinks, if I fail now, on my own terms, at least it's controlled. You crash the car before the cliff. It still hurts, but you tell yourself it could have been worse. Underneath that sits fear of change. To truly change your life, you'd have to let old versions of yourself die. The people pleaser, the invisible one, the constant victim. Those roles kept you safe in old environments. Your brain doesn't easily surrender them. So when change knocks, self-sabotage answers the door and says, we're not available. We already know how to survive like this. There's also the role of shame. Shame isn't just, I did something bad. Shame is, I am bad. When shame runs deep, good things feel like accidents or traps. Compliments feel like lies. Opportunities feel undeserved. And so you sabotage to relieve the pressure of living up to them. You'd rather confirm your shame than risk disproving it and not knowing who you are anymore. Look at relationships. How many times have you picked someone emotionally unavailable when you say you want connection? That's not random taste. It's self-sabotage shaped by attachment wounds. Being with someone half-present feels safer than being with someone fully there. Because if they're fully there, they can fully reject you. Half-love hurts, but it feels survivable. Full love feels dangerous. Or look at work. You dream of creating, building, expressing. But you procrastinate until the last minute or never start at all. You call it laziness. Underneath, it's fear. If you never give your full effort, you never have to face the possibility that your best was still not enough. So you offer half of yourself, then blame the half effort, not your worth. It's a defense against ultimate disappointment. Self-sabotage is often a bargain with pain. If I hurt myself first, the world can't hurt me as much. You cancel first. You quit first. You close your heart first. It gives you the illusion of power, of control. But long-term, it keeps you locked in exactly the suffering you fear. You become both the prisoner and the guard, convinced you're keeping yourself safe. Now add trauma. Trauma doesn't just give you pain. It rewires your expectations. If you learned early that joy is followed by punishment, or that hope is followed by disappointment, your system associates good with upcoming bad. So when things improve, your body anticipates impact. Anxiety rises. Self-sabotage becomes a twisted way to get it over with on your own terms. Psychodynamically, part of you might be loyal to your old environment. If your family struggled, a quiet part of you may feel guilty for doing better. If you were always the scapegoat, you might unconsciously recreate situations where you're blamed. It hurts, but it feels like home. Self-sabotage is sometimes unconscious loyalty to the past, to the people you shouldn't outgrow. There's also identification with the wound. If you've spent years seeing yourself as the broken one, or the mess, the idea of actually healing can be terrifying. Who are you if you're not the one who ruins things? Identity is powerful. Your brain would rather keep an identity that hurts than step into a blank space where it doesn't know who you are. So what do you do with all this? How do you stop being the villain in your own story? First, you stop calling yourself a villain. Self-sabotage is not proof that you're broken. It's proof that some part of you is terrified. Terrified of loss, rejection, exposure, responsibility, change. You don't fight terror with hate. You meet it with understanding. Curiosity becomes your new tool. Step 1. Name the pattern, not just the symptom. Not just, I procrastinate, or I pick the wrong people, but I keep choosing what confirms my old belief that I don't deserve more. Be painfully specific. I start fights when things get close. I disappear when people see the real me. Write it down. Speak it out. The more clearly you see the pattern, the less sneaky it becomes. Step 2. Ask the protective question. What is this behavior trying to protect me from? When you ghost someone kind, maybe you're protecting yourself from the day they might leave. When you avoid finishing a project, maybe you're protecting yourself from judgment or envy. When you downplay your needs, maybe you're protecting yourself from feeling too much. It's not about excusing. It's about decoding. Step 3. Introduce controlled disobedience. Tiny rebellions against the old script. If you usually cancel plans last minute, this time you go and stay 10 minutes longer than is comfortable. If you usually sabotage by oversharing with the wrong people, this time you share one honest sentence with someone safe instead. Small, specific, repeatable disobedience. Your nervous system can handle that. Your nervous system cannot handle massive overnight transformation. It will sabotage that, but it can handle small experiments. It can learn, I said what I feel, and I didn't die. I finished something, and nobody destroyed me. I let them see a piece of me, and they stayed. Those experiences slowly update the core beliefs your sabotage has been defending for years. Add regulation into the mix. When you notice the urge to sabotage rising, pause. Feel your feet on the ground. Relax your jaw, your shoulders. Take a slow breath in and a slightly longer breath out. You're teaching your body that it can feel the urge, the fear, the tension, without acting it out. This gap between impulse and action is where freedom starts. Also, call in compassion. Not as a fluffy idea, but as a practice. When you catch yourself sabotaging, instead of launching into, here we go again, I ruin everything. Try, of course I did this. It's an old pattern, but now I see it sooner. That shift from condemnation to curiosity is not weak. It's the exact state your brain needs to feel safe enough to change. Shame freezes. Compassion lets you move. In some cases, you'll need help. Therapy, trauma work, coaching, not because you're helpless, but because it's hard to dismantle a house from the inside alone. A good mirror helps you see which walls are load-bearing and which are just cages. It helps you grieve the years you spent attacking yourself for what were, in truth, survival strategies learned in hostile environments. Remember this: The part of you that sabotages is not evil. It's young. It's scared. It learned that shrinking, running, ruining, or freezing kept you alive. You don't need to kill that part. You need to update it, to show it that you now live in a different world. That you, the adult, can handle more than the child could. You become the protector that part never had. Self-sabotage loses power when your life starts to feel safer than your fantasies of escape. When being present feels less dangerous than disappearing. When building feels lighter than breaking. That won't happen in one video or one journal entry. But it does happen, piece by piece, as you stop treating yourself like the enemy and start treating yourself like someone worth keeping. If this spoke to you, it's because you recognize the war inside. The part of you that wants more and the part that keeps tearing it down. You are not crazy for that conflict. You are human, with a brain and a past that tried its best. Now you get to try differently. Not perfectly, just differently, one choice at a time. If you want to understand your patterns on a deeper level, trauma, survival brain, attachment, and all the hidden scripts, subscribe to this channel. Like this video if it names something you've always felt but couldn't explain. Share it with someone who always says, I ruin everything. Maybe they're not ruining anything. Maybe they're just protecting themselves in the only way they were ever taught. You are not your sabotage. You are the one who can see it. And if you can see it, you can change it. Slowly, gently, one less act of self-destruction at a time. That's how new patterns are born. That's how self-sabotage becomes self-protection and eventually self-trust.